Potholes, chuck holes, dips, craters, minefields. Whatever you call them, the feeling is the same. They are a huge nuisance, and city residents want to see as few of them as possible. After meeting with several neighborhoods and residents throughout the Indianapolis community, Mayor Ballard found that potholes and the way that they were being addressed was one of city customers' top 5 concerns.
I talked to a lot of neighborhood associations. As you know, we do the Mayor's Night Out. You can drive on the street, you can find out so many different ways, but potholes really are an issue in the city, and it's legendary. I talked to former mayors, it's a legendary problem.
Since 2003, the number of chuck holes and potholes that have been reported by the public to the Department of Public Works has grown about 56% a year. In fact, compared to 2003, 2008 was 265% greater volume of calls. More calls came in the first 5 months of 2008 than they received the entire year of 2007.
We received thousands of emails and phone calls requesting that we fix potholes. Well, the Mayor's Action Center takes that information in as a service request and sends that out to the Department of Public Works where a work order is fulfilled.
Back in the past, we was more reactive. Wait until you got a complaint, once the complaint come in, and then you go and respond. And the bad part about that process is that if you had a hole at 16th and Sherman Drive, and you started at 10th Street and was holes all the way, you could not get those other holes. You would have to pass them up to get to 16th Street, and then you end up with more complaints anyway.
The city's previous method of addressing potholes and lack of crack sealing work did little to permanently address the problem in Marion County. Potholes were repaired only to see the problem resurface just a few short weeks later.
One of the projects that I run is Mayor Ballard's performance management initiative called IndyStat. And all IndyStat means is if you are a department head in the city, and now we have a number of county agencies participating too, if you're a department head, every month or every other month you have your IndyStat meeting where you meet with Mayor Ballard, our chief of staff, our lead attorney, the controller, myself, and a number of other folks, and we go over your performance measures every month or every other month. Every department has established performance measures that they report to the mayor on a monthly basis. One of this whole Six Sigma process improvement effort was Mayor Ballard's idea, and it came out of some of our IndyStat meetings.
So we were anxious through the initiatives here of the mayor and other players to start a business improvement process so that we could look for reducing steps out of the pothole work order process from start to finish.
Since August of last year, the City of Indianapolis has been working diligently to streamline the entire pothole reporting and repair process to allow Indianapolis residents much better service than has previously been offered. The city collaborated with Eli Lilly in order to utilize Six Sigma Black Belts to assist the Department of Public Works and the city's Mayor's Action Center in refining pothole response methods.
Eli Lilly came forward and essentially volunteered to spend some time pro bono on helping us really break down and analyze the pothole fulfillment process.
From the very beginning, when a call comes in from a citizen to the time that the pothole is filled. And so we mapped that entire thing out and to see what was really going on. I think that's one of the big keys. And when you do that, you see a lot of steps and a lot of handoffs and a lot of wait time, what we call waste. And this is not unusual for any process. I mean, we see it here at Lilly, we see it everywhere. It just happens. And unless you take steps to avoid that, to cut it out, it's there. So we just blew the process apart in terms of mapping it and examining that, and found plenty of opportunities to sort of decrease wait time, decrease the rework, take out some steps, and make that a lot faster and leaner and more improved.
You really have to give credit to the city employees, because while Eli Lilly sat down with all of the employees who have something to do with filling potholes, they facilitated the group and in such a way that all of the ideas that we're now implementing to shorten the time that it takes to fill a pothole, those ideas actually came from city employees. Eli Lilly just gave us the Six Sigma process as a lens.
A lot of it is just listening to people, and I think we've done a good job of listening to people. So I thought there had to be a better way of doing it when we looked into it, and I think that was important to listen. I'm a big fan of those who operate where the rubber meets the road really know the best way of doing it.
We came out and interviewed and talked to all the employees and asked them for ideas and concepts of which they thought we could improve the performance. You know, they're working the jobs every day. They're doing the cleanups. They're doing the pothole repairs. And based on their comments, we came out with 400 different ideas, and we turned around and we developed key performance indicators. And the KPIs we're using not only in this district, but in districts 2 and 3, but also throughout the whole Department of Public Works.
KPIs, or key performance indicators, are basically a metrics that's used to measure how successful you are. It first beckons for you to ask the questions who your customers are, and taking a stance from your customer's view, looking how successful your business is in regards to your customer's view of your services.
In reviewing the previous pothole response method, the process was found to be clumsy and extremely inefficient, as it allowed several days before complaints were finally received by district garages for scheduling, routing, and repair. In addition, the old mechanism did not allow customers to report details including specific pothole location, specific customer contact information, and other important data that assist in better planning and routing. This proved inefficient as work crews were sometimes sent to inaccurate locations, duplicate reporting resulted, and other problems ensued. This ultimately resulted in waste of taxpayer dollars. As a result of Mayor Ballard's attentiveness to input received from citizens in the community, we're now working to address potholes from a two-tier aspect, including preventative maintenance through crack sealing and better repair practices. In just 3 months after implementing the new process, the city accomplished 128 lane miles of crack sealing in 2008, which more than doubled the 49 lane miles crack sealed in 2007. Plans are currently in place to increase that number significantly over the next few years. We're also using better patching materials, hot mix rather than cold mix when available, to allow better, more permanent repairs.
Well, the advantage of using hot mix over cold mix is it becomes a permanent patch. It's an asphalt repair to the street that becomes permanent. Cold mix is a temporary patch used in most municipalities that endure winter operations that is temporary. So it's produced in such a way to where the material stays pliable during cold weather, so it can be put into holes and compacted down and that kind of thing.
We're being more proactive as we are now targeting geographic areas, patching every pothole within that area with a permanent repair of hot mix rather than waiting to receive a request from our customers before reacting. Over the next few years or so, we expect the approach of the Chuck Holkeisen response to result in a major decrease in the number of pothole complaints that we are now experiencing. Though there is still much work to be done addressing the city's pothole challenge, the number of pothole requests currently reported this year are at about half the number of requests reported at the same time last year.
Once you become totally reactive, then you're kind of at the mercy of who wants you to work when and where and what you do. Right. And that's kind of the way this operation was led for a while. So we're pulling all that back into core functions and really all the functions that we do, and the scheduling of those functions through production schedules and manpower and equipment and those kind of things. Gotcha. And I think we'll find on everything that we do, we'll probably do more of it and do a better job.
Residents like Carol Dutt have already noticed a marked improvement in the way potholes are being addressed in their areas.
When they paved 79th Street, they put a little edging, you know, like they do when they overlap for driveways.
Gotcha.
But we already had a couple of edgings from way long time ago, so it made it like a rumble board when you came in. Mm-hmm. And sometimes if you came in just a little too fast, it was like a bouncing rumble board.
Okay.
So we were very thrilled to see that was done.
Excellent.
Because it's just nice and smooth coming in right now.
Great.
And all the rest of the patching jobs are great.
Crew Chief Damon Johnson, one of the principal members of the Six Sigma team, explains the practical application of the current pothole repair method versus the old process.
Dealing with hot mix is all about creating a look.
Gotcha.
You know, it's kind of like drawing. I would just tack it, I would form a box, and then in that box I would, put the tack down, and then I would come with the asphalt and apply the asphalt to it and rake it and pull on it and get it straight and try to, you know, make it as neat as I possibly can. And then we take this machine here, this roller, and roll over it. And that's the end result right there. You know, they see us out here doing this. They see us taking our time.
Right.
They see us trying to do it right. Before, they just see us come, you got a hole in front of your driveway, we just throw some mix in it and hit it with our shovel and we gone.
The City of Indianapolis and the Department of Public Works is determined to find solutions to the problems the city is facing. By using every tool at our disposal, Six Sigma, IndyStat, and industry best practices, the Department of Public Works is committed to improving our services and providing greater value to the taxpayer.